Yeah, feeling the vibe right here. Aspiring to greatness.
Guys, it's the Beat the Best podcast with your two favorite people in the known universe, Sean, Watkins, and BetaMax 84. What's up, big dog?
What's
going on? How you doing, my brother?
Just another day in the game, man. Just trying to enjoy this Memorial Day weekend. Shout out to the soldiers and everybody else who provided actual freedom for the country that we live in. A lot of people died for this, man. You gotta remember that when we talk about Memorial Day.
Right.
This week, we will be talking about Jaxson Dart and his interesting choices last week. But before we get into that, Sean, I gotta ask you, man, have you seen the Michael movie yet?
You know what? I have not. I've been trying to get myself over there, but just, been busy with stuff, and yeah, my son just finished high school. He didn't officially
Congrats.
graduate yet, but he's done with the 12th grade, so just dealing with that stuff. So but that's been on my priority list to go see it. But I keep hearing nothing but great and phenomenal things about it, and of course it's gonna be great. It's Michael. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's
What are we
really
talking
interesting
about?
that you say no, because I already knew you didn't see it. You know how I know you didn't see it? Because you haven't
Why?
been listening to Baby Be Mine as much as I have.
You're right. I was listening to PYT yesterday, though. Come on now.
Hey, PYT. And so, I saw the movie and it brought back a lot of memories for me. And I know you and I are similar in age group. And it made me realize that Michael Jackson touched so many people beyond our childhoods and really expanded his reach now to an entire generation that were really unaware of his existence. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's incredible. There is, I don't know if it's new, but I don't know if it's IG or TikTok, but there's this little dance to "You Rock My World," and
Yeah.
and they're doing it in the street.
Yeah.
It's like a group of guys, and they're
In the
doing
street
this step
top.
in the street,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what? So just the reach that he has, and Michael Jackson's been gone what, 16 years, 17 years?
17 years. Yeah.
17 years and still
Mhm.
have that reach. So it's just he's just an incredible artist. And then just listening to his songs all over again, it's they hit just like they did back when they were brand new.
I actually disagree with you here. I would say that it hits even harder.
Okay,
And
all
the
right.
reason why it hits harder is because when we were younger, we were just dancing to the vibe and, oh yeah, we like Michael Jackson, Michael.
Right.
And now that I'm older, I dove into his lyrical content and the energy of some of the songs. Like one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs is "Man in the Mirror,"
Yeah.
And when you listen to that with a developed mind and you're like, yo, I'm going to make a change for the rest of my life. And he's talking about all the kids in the street ain't got enough to eat. Who am I to be blind? Like what?
Right.
Yo, it just hits you different.
Man, you're absolutely right. That's a great song. It's not one of I love the song. Don't get me
Whoa,
wrong.
you
It's
don't
one
like
of
Man
my
in the Mirror?
favorites. No. I love Man in the Mirror. It's not. I wouldn't say it's my all-time favorite, but I love Man in the Mirror. Come on, don't get me wrong.
Like, wait,
Um,
we have a problem, sir.
No. I love it, Joe. Come on now. It's like I said, it's a great song. I love the song. I'm just saying, for me, Michael Jackson is. I love the commentary on what's going on in today's society or at that time.
Yeah.
For me, Michael Jackson is just the music he does, and one of my favorite songs is "Off the Wall." It's man, God. Oh my God,
That album is
it's
goated though. Off the Wall goes
oh man,
hard. It goes so hard.
it's just oh man, it's one of those songs when when you get off work on Friday, just play that on Friday,
Ooh,
and you'll understand
don't do
what
that
I'm
to the
talking
people.
about. Just play. I'm serious. As soon as you get off work and leave that 9 to 5 up on the shelf
And
and
just
just enjoy
enjoy
yourself.
yourself.
Come on, man. What are we talking about? That's the perfect
He
weekend
said,
song. So that's one of my
life ain't
favorites.
so bad at all.
That's right. When you're living off the
Off the
wall.
wall.
Yes. Stop it, man. That's what I'm talking about. So
You,
that's like you said. Go ahead.
we could do a whole episode about Michael, but do you know what
man.
one of my favorite Jackson 5 tracks is? I'm gonna blow
What's
your away
that?
because I don't know if you know I was a huge Michael fan, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
Yo, Like,
You've said it a few times.
bro, if you listen to Can You Feel It? Jackson 5? Can you
Man.
feel it? Can you feel it? Dum, da, dum, da, dum. And Michael comes in out of nowhere. All the children of the world should be loving and hugging you honestly.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when him and I, we do this all the time. And you get to singing these songs. You think, it's crazy. He's playing these songs come up and you get to singing and you just lose yourself.
You do.
You lose yourself in his music. You really do, man. So, man, shout out to Michael Jackson, man. Rest in peace. Continue resting in peace. But man,
Yeah.
his music continues to slap.
Yes, rest in greatness even. And
Yes.
to all the other things he touched as well. I think I was listening to Rockwell too. I was like, I didn't even know he had the background vocals on that joint. It always
I
feels
knew that.
like
I remember that.
somebody's watching me. What?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Man.
Anyway, they don't do it like that anymore. Guys, we have our special guest again this week. We got Juan. We're going to bring Juan in here because we have a lot to talk about this week. Let's get Juan dialed in to this piece. Juan!
Sure.
Magnum is back, bro. Welcome,
Let's
sir.
go.
Welcome.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Oh, man, it's good to have you, Juan.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to need your help for this one. Guys, Jaxson Dart this week decided to open up for Trump in a Trump rally. I don't know if everyone knows, but Jaxson Dart is the head quarterback for the New York Giants. He came out to Eye of the Tiger leading a Go Big Blue chant and introduced Donald Trump as the 45th and 47th president. Then Trump riffed for about 20 minutes about Dart's legs like tree trunks and asked if women could tackle him, which is a whole unhinged conversation in itself. We're not even going to get into the point of rallying when you are in your second term, when you can't serve a third, but that's another conversation for later. What are your thoughts about this choice of Jaxson Dart's to open and bring the president in as the head quarterback for the New York Giants?
Well, I mean, although he has a right, I mean, but choices come with consequences, and he was met with a fair amount of criticism, not only from Giants fans, but, his teammate Abdul Carter had something to say on X. Yor also had something to say, and then it was later reported as late as yesterday that they had a talk about this, and supposedly there was whatever, issues that needed to be talked about between Jaxson Dart, Abdul Carter, and anyone else. They kind of hashed that and reported that everything's going to be fine. Normally these things, are met with short attention span. Well, maybe not the Giants fans. Maybe the Giants fans will see if they're going to hold on to this. But, I mean, just like over a month ago, we saw a similar incident with Caitlin Clark appearing with Morgan Wallen. And everybody knows what Morgan Wallen and his controversy was. And these athletes, to, whether they're oblivious to what's going on or they are clear in their choices and their political ideologies, to cross that line between politics and sports. And all these people that want to say, keep my politics out of sports and shut up and dribble. I mean, why is it when certain athletes do it, it's okay, they say nothing? And then others, we are met by certain news, groups that like to criticize this and make this some kind of a thing and make this some kind of a narrative. So, I mean, athletes are people and they have choices too, and they have political ideologies. And I don't know what goes on in a football locker room or a basketball locker room, but these things are definitely talked about. And, from a team standpoint, Jaxson Dart just has to perform well and everybody's going to forget about it. So if he performs well, it won't mean anything. But if he struggles, things are going to pop up. And I'll tell you, I'll add one more thing. for the community that was accepting him, he's like, yeah, he's invited to the cookout and people want to be sending invites for the cookout. You better watch out who you guys really are dealing with, because when they show themselves, they show themselves. And, this is what we get when we're just giving out invites to the cookout, or in my case, the carne asada, and you guys want to be accepting of certain dudes that may not be cool with you after all. So we'll see.
Juan, I got to jump in here, bro. I feel like you're a wind-up toy right now. I feel like you're one of those zip racers and we just pulled your cord to let you cook. So my goodness, thank you for leading us off. Sean, this is an interesting choice as a quarterback. Let me give you guys some background. This isn't the first time someone has embraced political ideology. Most recently, we've had Nick Bosa do this for the 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, obviously, maybe not wrapped his roundabout political, but he was for standing for civil liberties, God forbid. Saquon Barkley was seen on the side of Trump. He was criticized for that. I think the biggest difference here is timing. Timing is everything. Most recently, the President of the United States was found guilty of sexual abuse in 2023, and he still owes that woman $88 million. This is a facts, not feeling. He owes her $88 million in civil court from sexual abuse. So when you say you support a person, this is what you support. You support a sexual abuser. Go ahead, Sean.
It's not a good look. Here you are, and I'm trying to keep it football, but here you are. You had a what's the word I'm looking for? A very surprising start to your career with the Giants. Russell Wilson was not doing well. They threw him into the fire. He was playing great. He was putting his body on the line, and so now you like the Giants. I think we've got our quarterback for the future. Then you enter John Harbaugh. So they just brought him in. He leaves Baltimore. Now you got this Super Bowl winning coach. So all the pieces are coming together, and then you decide to do something like this. And the big problem with it is it's, whatever your ideology is, that's fine. It is what it is. But when you have a team where you've got so many different personalities, and I've been part of a locker room. The locker room is sacred. It's the holy grail. It's like whatever happens, these are my brothers that we are getting ready to go to war with on that football field or on that basketball court or on that baseball diamond. These are the guys. So I need to know that you're going to, have my back. And so when something like this happens and you've got the teammates, his teammates who don't agree with what Trump has done and what he's doing, and then you go out and you introduce and kind of represent yourself in that way, it puts a strain. And to Juan's point, they kind of hash it out and there's no issue, but those things can rear their ugly head. But like Juan, again, said so eloquently, winning cures everything. So if he goes out, does what he's supposed to do, and wins games, we won't be talking about this. But it's even more pressure for him to do that. He's got to go out and perform. And, and the Giants have been so bad for so long. If he could just, if he could get a playoff game, like I said, he's winning. So, but timing of it, it's just awful. Like if he does this maybe in the middle of the season and they're playing great, it's still a problem, but the season hasn't even started yet. And you do this, it becomes a real issue with your teammates.
There's so many things to unpack here. I have so much written down, but I kind of want to go with my gut here. Juan you said so many great things. One thing that really just came to me, Juan, I keep thinking of Public Enemy's line, every brother ain't a brother 'cause of color, and your teammates are your brothers. Sean and I have been in locker rooms, man. Those guys, they know stuff about you on a personal level. You're on flights and bus rides together. And then I'm sure, without knowing, I'm sure some of them felt blindsided by this to see, oh, damn, he's not voting Republican. He's introducing this cat. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. And we've come into this political sphere where things are so bifurcated. To support Trump at this point publicly means that you're okay with And like these are just some of the top 3 hits. I can't go into all of them because we don't have enough time in the day. You were okay with paying a porn star for hush money while he was pregnant with his wife. You were okay with efforts to overturn the 2020 Georgia election and a conspiracy against the United States. You were okay with federal election interference and January 6th, an attack on the Capitol. So your support means that you are okay with these things. Juan, am I pushing to say that?
Well, when you support somebody, you're supporting the entire baggage that they come with. So, I mean, you're also supporting, oh, yeah, he said no new wars, and yet we are in one. You're also supporting what's going on with gas prices, the economy, et cetera. Like I said,
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
right. I don't, no need to get into the full political, spectrum there. But for Jaxson Dart, like I said, he made this choice. So he's got to, you either got to, you got to live it, you got to own it, and, and you got to perform well, and and we'll see if his teammates are going to hang on to this, or, they're going to be able to compartmentalize and just work on just winning ball games. So we'll see
Juan,
if this becomes a distraction.
Well, Juan, I mean, they're professionals.
Right.
When a professional, I thought to myself, if this was my teammate and I was playing ball and my point guard comes out and he's like, yeah, I'm pro MAGA, I'm still going to go out. I'm still going to defend. I'm still going to switch. I'm still going to call out help defense. Right. Are we going to go grab a sandwich after the game? Absolutely not. We have nothing to talk about. I think it's really interesting, Sean, because you look at these types of things and what it does to a team. Again, this isn't new. We've had athletes jump into this sphere before. I think the timing of it is different. We're here in Donald Trump's second term. He's made inferences about running and having a third, which is against the Constitution. Again, to Juan's point, we can't even go so deep into the political bag of these things. But he did say something valuable. When you accept someone, you're accepting all of them. One thing I've learned when I was younger is when you say something, look who jumps up to support you. If you're jumping up to introduce the President of the United States, the people who are now supporting you sound wild. They don't sound sane. It's like, yeah, tear it down, kill. It's like very vitriolic. Am I making sense, Sean?
Absolutely, you're making so much sense. It's just it's really scary to be honest. Yeah. when you do that and you show support for someone that like all the things that he's done and that we've listed here, and when you show your support by introducing him at a rally, and then you see all these people, then it's like, wow. So it's almost like they go, hey, he's one of us.
Yeah.
And so now, even though you may have just, and I don't know why he did it, I can't speak on that, but he probably was like, oh man, it's a great opportunity to introduce the president. Maybe he doesn't know much about politics.
He's from Mississippi. See how he couldn't. He's from Mississippi.
Well, I'm just saying, but listen, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? He could have just been, I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt, but still to see that you go, man, okay, this is becomes uncomfortable. So to your point,
it gets uncomfortable. Let me tell you guys something. I was speaking to this a little earlier off screen. I had posted the precursor for this episode, the Jaxson Dart, the questioning if it's a mistake or not. And the people who came out in the post on TikTok to support it, when I looked at their pages, it was quite scary because they were all super pro-Trump. Like, it's their identity. Like, it's not just they support. Like, I just bought a Jaxson Dart jersey. I'm like, damn. Like, that's crazy. You don't even know. I'm not even a Giants fan. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I did some research because I like to do research. About anywhere from 10 to 30% of the online traffic that is pro-MAGA is bots. 10 to 30%.
What was that percentage again? 10 to 30%?
10 to 30%. 30 to 33% on the high end. Although bot accounts make up between 1 to 5% of internet accounts, they account for anywhere from 20 to 30% of MAGA volume. Meaning bots can comment and post every 5 minutes. It's constant comment, post, comment, post. So it seems like there's all of this groundswell of support when anywhere from 10 to 30% of it isn't real. Do you find, Juan, that when you see support for a GOP or Trump-backed athlete, that it seems outsized, like more than normal?
Yeah. So so what you just explained was how people choose to align themselves with that ideology to get paid, and those are the grifters. Hence, like, Candace Owens was once doing this, and Tucker Carlson was doing this, and they were getting not only well supported, they were getting protected.
Yes.
Now that's not the case. But then you see Jaxson Dart, who it looked to me, from what I saw, he looked like he was just happy just to take the opportunity to do what he did. Maybe not knowing, or maybe, I don't know if the Giants knew or what, or there was a publicist
no way
that could have been out there.
team.
Yeah,
There's
well,
no way he talked
absolutely
to his
not,
PR
because they would have advised them that this may not be a good look, and we don't need you out there right now, introducing the president of the United States. But for whatever reason, he did, and now it's met with this backlash. But we'll see. Short attention spans usually will find another story. So if there's another big story, this will move on to probably another athlete if they choose to do something of this, of this manner, to align themselves or appear to align themselves with this political ideology. So,
You're right. I mean, they went through this with Saquon as well. I want to point out something to you guys that you are probably aware of. This used to not be normal. In the Michael Jordan era, they used to ask Michael Jordan about his politics, and I believe his response was, Republicans buy shoes too. So he used to stay apolitical. He got dragged for that, by the way. But he stayed apolitical. It was also a very different political climate back then, right? People used to have normal debate where everything's hyperbole now. Before that, we had civil action, where Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they used to speak up because it was for civil rights. Black people out here getting murdered. We're athletes. We have something to say about it. So it was civil discourse. And now it seems, to Juan's point, that people are gravitating towards the political ideologies of their choice because they get you a bag. You can run into the arms of the GOP and MAGA, and they will hug you and get you paid, right? There's really I'll be honest with you, there's no point in running to the Democratic side. There isn't. There's no bag for you waiting there. There's no hyperbole. The Democratic side is mostly feckless, ineffective, and quiet. So they just sit there, where, the MAGA side is action, action, action. Sean, do you find that any athlete actually looks backwards towards the things that were built before them, or are they just living in the moment, like, yo, this is what I want to do, so I'm gonna do it?
I think it's more so the latter. They're living in the moment, and they just want to do it, because we're in the social media age, and everything is about followers and people, and getting the clicks and the eyeballs and the views.
Yeah.
And so, and how they used to say, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yep.
It's 1,000-fold with the social media era. So it's like, if I can get people to look and I could say something hyperbolic and get people to look and say, oh my God, what did he just say? And get them to comment, along with the 10 to 30% bots that are going to comment. It's going to do my page justice. And now people, whether they hate it or love it, they're going to go ahead and join your page. They're going to go ahead and because they want to see what you're doing.
Sean, bro, what you're saying is brilliant, because you know what? After I saw my post had 4,000, views in 24 hours, which I only have 30 followers on TikTok because I just jumped on there. BetaMax 84 for anybody who cares, but you don't. The next post was Jaxson Dart in a MAGA outfit for the Giants. It already has 1,000 views. Like, it's obvious. Like, and I'm feeding red meat to sharks, right? It's like, here, you don't. You guys are going to comment on it, so comment on it. Juan, I just find it really interesting that it's so easy. It's like, do you guys not understand how easy this is?
Well, Yeah, like I said, you mentioned the athletes that stood for something, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Muhammad Alis, and then you saw the reverse of that when they went to O.J. Simpson. Hey, I'm not black, I'm O.J., right? So I mean,
Right.
there was also that kind of business move
That's
as
a
well.
Jay-Z
So
bar right there.
oh man,
Hmm.
but like I said, these athletes are, they make their choices. You're right, in the moment, and without maybe realizing could there be some long-term consequences with their choices. They're not worried about that. So, you know, there's, like I said, there's some athletes, like in the past, you're right. I remember the Michael Jordan quote, yeah, Republicans buy shoes too, and in the past, you didn't display openly, your, political affiliation in public, especially if you were a huge athlete, a star athlete, or maybe even a celebrity. You kept it quiet. Now it's out in the open. Now it's like everybody can show who they really are now, good or bad. And you either met with criticism or you're met with praise or both. So it's the society we're living in right now.
And bro, I gotta say, I actually like that. I like that I can see you for you. If you wanna support the president, full throatedly, pause, and that's when
Full
and
throatedly. Okay.
and that's what you want.
That's
Great.
crazy.
I know I won't be buying a Jaxson Dart jersey. I mean, I'm a 49er fan. I bleed red. Red and gold.
I'm
I
a
don't
Raiders fan,
wear-
so
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
We still get along.
yeah.
I'm not. I'm not going to wear a Nick Bosa jersey. I'm not. I'm going to cheer for the Niners, but I'm not rocking with Nick Bosa, and that's fine. We all get to make choices, but choices are not free from consequence. These guys, they can say whatever they want. And what else I really find interesting, Sean, is when you support the GOP, or even if you support Democrats, when you're rich, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't
But
matter.
you know what's funny is
Go ahead, bro.
in today's climate, it's a double-edged sword. So you can support who you want, and you can go and you can, do what Jaxson Dart did, or some, and some like what Nick Bosa has done, showing your support. But on the other hand, since people came out and said shut up and dribble, if you don't say anything now, you're basically you're playing into that shut up and dribble. Well, oh, you don't want to say anything now?
Wow.
We you know what I'm saying? So so you have to really toe the line, to keep your status up. You know what I'm saying? To keep people off your back. You can't go far right, but you can't go far left either. So you got to toe the line to keep everybody on their toes. Because if you don't, like I said, you'll get killed. Oh, look at him. He's not an activist. He doesn't care about us. He's just a spoiled athlete.
Juan, Sean's
if he
cooking right
doesn't
now,
say
bro.
anything.
He's talking
So,
about the double-edged sword, which is true. If we're going to talk about this, we have to touch
yeah,
on Colin Kaepernick. We do.
right,
Colin
right,
Kaepernick got blackballed by the league for kneeling, and
right.
the whole shut up and dribble crew, they were burning his jersey in the street tops, but now it's a different political climate, and no one's burning anyone's jersey.
No,
Right? Isn't that interesting, Juan?
Yeah, funny. There was another guy that was kneeling. His name was Tim Tebow, and because of religious reasons, nobody said anything about that. But the minute you get a guy that actually is kneeling because of his dispute against injustice, especially from police, nobody's with it. It's funny though. But if had it been a cause that the majority would have been down with, we say nothing. And that's where I first said in my argument that certain athletes can get away with things and we say nothing or met with minimal criticism. And then in comparison to other athletes that are met with much larger criticism. And why do we do that? So why don't we keep it all the same? But who knows?
Juan, you're striking a note with me. I can handle almost anything. I can handle a racist. I can handle a bigot. I cannot handle a hypocrite. of all the things I can't handle, it's hypocrisy, because that means that whatever I'm doing, it's okay for me. Ooh, but it's not okay for you. The situation changed, but now my mood changes and everything else changes. It's like that senator who got caught out there. He was voting against gay rights, and then got caught blowing a guy in the bathroom. It's like, yo, so you're a hypocrite, my dude. You're not even real. Like, even if I don't like something, I will respect someone who lives their life like that. If you're a pro-rights person and you're outside of an abortion clinic and your home is full of babies and you're adopting children and feeding children, I'm like, yo, at least you live your life like that. But that's rarely the case, is it, Sean? Most of these people are hypocrites.
Absolutely. And here's the real crazy thing about it. Most of these people are hypocrites, and then it's all over. Media, they're hypocrites. A lot of talking heads in the media are terrible. Like, and there's arguments. I'm not going to say any names about who's out there, but you know some of the main characters. They say whatever they want to say, but as soon as the athlete comes back and says something and says, well, now I'm holding you accountable.
They quiet.
Who are you?
They quiet.
And then they start getting the threats like, who are you to question me? I've done A, B, C. What about this? But also I can't question you now. You can question me, but I can't question you. The hypocrisy in that. So you have no accountability. I have to have all the accountability as an athlete. So that's the world we live in. It's really awful. And I'm with you there. I can handle a lot of things.
Yeah.
But to be a hypocrite, do as I say, not as I do, is the worst.
Yeah.
Juan, you want to jump in? Go ahead.
Yeah, because the biggest hypocrites are the ones that are loud, like the people that say, get politics out of my sports and this and that. But you weren't chirping when they were like memorializing Charlie Kirk at a sporting event, which has nothing to do with sports. And yet we're memorializing like guys that had nothing to do with sports, and we say nothing about that. Those are the guys that complain about the most. The ones that complain about certain specific things that they have, they're the ones doing it themselves. Or they end up accepting when it's somebody that they like or they're aligned with their political affiliation, then they let it go. Then it's okay. When it's their guy, it's cool. When it's not their guy, it's not. So it's ridiculous.
And that's the hypocrisy we're talking about. I don't know if you guys know this about me. Sean, you've known me for a lot longer. I understand that the lens that I look at life through is as a heterosexual black male. So there's certain things I don't expect someone to understand because they didn't live my life. I don't expect someone to understand what it's like to live life like a black male. Juan, I think you're similar because it's like, yo, I'm telling you what this is like, and you're not listening to me. It's like, Juan, if we went to a really good restaurant, Juan has a fantastic, he's like me, he has a fantastic taste buds for champagne and good food, right? If we went to a really good restaurant and the chef is telling you what he made to make that steak so good, and you're going to tell him, no, you're not. That's not how you made it. It's like he's giving you the lens through, he's a chef. That's all he's done is cook great food for years, and he's giving you a good meal and letting you know what that is. And you're going to tell him, nah, it's not like that. That's what the hypocrisy is like. It's absurd.
It is. I mean, you telling the professional how to do his job. I mean, come on. But like I said, this all stems whether that the individual that is, in the middle of the controversy, is he a likable person? Does he align with your, political affiliation? Then they let things slide rather than hold the person accountable, regardless whether he's likable or not.
I'm going to stop you right there. And I'm going to give this to Sean. Juan said accountability.
Right.
We're living in an unaccountability landscape. And I know this bugs you, Sean.
It burns me up inside because I'm like, you've known me a long time, BetaMax 84, and I'm an accountable person. I'll say when I've done wrong, when I've misspoke. I'll say that. I have no problem. It's not an issue. But when you get these people and they do that, they just kind of gloss over it, and it's just they don't want to be held accountable, but they want you to be accountable, and I can't stand for that. I really can't. Be accountable. if you can be accountable, listen, and you say, you know what, I did this. I know it was wrong, but that's the way I feel. I can respect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I can respect that. That's the way you feel. Great.
Great.
Okay. It's maybe whether it's wrong or right.
We can disagree. Fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But
No problem.
I do not like when people do that, and that's the world we live in today. There's no accountability. Nobody wants to be accountable, especially not to be too political, but the GOP side. They're getting. There's facts and facts. They're getting proven wrong every day, but they won't. They will never capitulate and say you're right. The talking points change.
Talking points change.
But like I said, not to be political, but the talking points change.
No, it's a great point, and we can flip that page right onto the Democratic side. They've fumbled the rock so many times since Hillary Clinton, but they are accountable for nothing, and it makes me absolutely insane. I'm actually getting hot. Let's wrap this up. Juan, how does this look like? What does this look like for the Giants in the first few games of the season to wrap us up here? And I'll give Sean an opportunity to chime in as well.
If they get off to a good start, this means nothing. And by the way, this is still far away from the season. Season's not until like September, so we don't know if this is even going to be a lingering thing. But like I said, if Jaxson Dart plays well, there's not going to be talk of this. So there's just going to be talk that the team is doing well, everything's in harmony. John Harbaugh's the new coach. Obviously, there's some expectation there. So I just think that, the Giants, if they get off to a good start and Jaxson Dart is playing well, I don't think we're going to hear much of this. So I think it all is contingent on how he is performing.
So what does it do for the locker room?
It just depends on how they start. Even if they play, when they play the Cowboys, the game one of the season, even if they lose, if Jaxson Dart plays well and it's a close game, it's an exciting game, that's still, because the Giants they've been bad. So that's still, that's promising. Cowboys were, a good team. They got their quarterback there is really good with Dak Prescott. So they've got some receivers. They're really good. So you're like, and their defense is solid. So it's like, okay, if the Giants can compete, they don't even have to win, and Jaxson Dart plays well, then it becomes a moot point. And I think that goes for the locker room as well. So if the locker room, like I said, if they start off well and they're competing in these games and they look really good, it's a moot point. We won't even hear anything else about it until someone decides to bring it up.
A great point, guys. We are at the crucible and the crux of where athletes will embrace publicly their political beliefs and their civil beliefs. So I don't think we're going to see the end of this. I think we'll see more of it. And the fan base is just going to have to get used to it. Whether you like that your quarterback is a MAGA hat or not, you're still going to hope that they win on Sunday. So that's what we're going to see. Guys, for Sean and for Juan, this is your boy BetaMax84. Follow us on social. A lot of y'all are watching and not following. I don't know what's up. Yo, get in. Tap in. We're not going anywhere anyway. And guys, we'll catch you on the flip side.